Alrighty, we're looking to get online here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Strap your seats in. AoE grind in the Western Plaguelands. Made a ridiculous amount of gold, and I'll talk about that as I click into the game, so just hold with me.
Do you want to live forever?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are online. Just give me a second here. I think Twitch is not playing game. Twitch is alive. Alright. Okay, so just very briefly, I know it's redundant, but hit level 50, and I knew as soon as I got in the Western Plaguelands, which is obviously just to the east of Undercity, in the west, in the east, we're able to farm the Fellstone field, kill off the casters, and then do groups up to 10, maybe more sometimes, but between 6 to 8 average of the melee mobs, 30k, 40k XP an hour. I hit 50, then got to 51, and we're now sort of halfway to 52. Though I'm trying to get the Scarlet Diversion done, and yesterday, and also got, because of what I was doing, I got recruited to a guild. I thought, oh bugger it, we'll just jump into one. Alright. What level are you? Maybe we go the other side. Now, coming to do this quest yesterday, it was, I don't know if you'd say it was bugged, but it level 54s. It had massive mobs here, and they were instantly returning. So they give you this quest at 50, and then they give you level 54 mobs to fight. But I suppose the idea is you meant to do it as a group. Let me just double check we've got YouTube running. Oh. Probably should just check my phone, shouldn't I? Oh. Oh, nice. Got me with my pants down, girl. Very aggressive. That's what I get for alt tabbing. Alright, we seem to be live streaming. Let me just double check. That's what I get for alt tabbing. Alright, we seem... Oh, I hear myself delayed. Pardon me. Streaming in 1080p, 60 frames a second. What's bitrate is 9993. Oh, okay. A little bit more than I expected. Alright. See, these mobs come back so quick. because they have such high resist. Jeez. I'd love to do that quest, but I don't have the... I have to unlock this quest. This is what's holding me up. I've got to unlock this quest. Magic missiles that can hit me from 20 miles away. Get out of town, man. Oh, that'd be great. Dodge one spider and get into another. I'm sure these are meant to go off on a still be my... Just give me a second, he's trying to talk to me today. Alrighty. Where's this? Holy... Oh man, I love being hit from half the screen away. Alright, so I've got to kill those two buggers. Problem is I didn't take arcane, improved arcane resist. So let's just see, am I close enough? Ah, so there's 3 now. Here come the double arcanes. Two will be 2. If they're melee, it wouldn't be such a bad thing, but because they're bloody range. Oh, great! So now we've got the. So it looks like someone came through and cleaned this all up. I'm gonna have one more shot here. How does that work? Surprised you didn't double heal up. I need this to unlock 2 or 3 other quests, man, and I don't want to ask anyone for help. Okay. Oh. Unbelievable. Love it when people are showing items from a 15-year-old game. Yeah, I got this. Meanwhile, you've been running these old braids back in the day for transmogs and stuff. You used to punch through it all. Okay. Okay, how do you... Oh, far out. Unbelievable. I remember doing this on my Warlock so easy. But this wasn't bug like this. Alright, I give up. Just gonna go grind. Pardon me, I didn't realise I probably had that fan blowing on me. Okay. Yeah, so you want to ask, as I said, you want to ask how much gold I've made. I think it's clearly been seen that when I started, I hit level 40. I had approximately about 60 odd gold, and I transferred 30 or so gold over, so I could buy a mount, and I was left with about 4 gold when I hit level 40. So from 40 to getting to 54, I've made well, I have 265 on me. I've made probably well over 300 plus gold from level 40 in the AoE grind, because I have spent gold on buying gear. And people have asked me, how do you have so much mana? I've had in people in the chats. Just give me a make sure. Basically it's just gear of the eagle, and as I said, I could be buying more. Usually I buy upgrades, but mostly it's all gear of the eagle, which is stamina and intelligence. And with that, I basically outlast. I do have a full stack of plus frost damage gear, but it's better to be survival, because I've had a little bit of strange lag, because I get the feeling we're like a virtual server. Hit me, mate. Okay, that's all I wanted you to do, is hit me. That'd be effing. And the idea is I don't have to panic because I have enough life. Plus, with 3 mobs, they're not going to hit me as bad as 7 or 8 will bloody hit me. And another thing, just see these 3 mobs here. Just imagine that was between 3 to 9. The higher, the more damage you're going to get hit for. Always backpedal, and you probably if you've been playing Warcraft for a very long time, people laugh at you if you backpedal. But I'm telling you now, in this engine and the way they design it with the leeway mechanic, because I've been guilty of it too. I run around and arcane explosion, stuff like that, and I shouldn't. I should basically just backpedal, because you get hit a couple of screens away and it kills you. All we need to do is backpedal, and you're laughing. So what we'll do is we'll clear up a couple of mages, because they piss me off. And this bloke's going to hit us with a fire blast. Usually after they do a melee attack. Oh, that's the first time ever. Alrighty. Alright, so we've got a few illy down here. Get them to hit me, so they all go blue. And ideally you want to always farm it in an area that you just recently cleared out. So there's a high chance I'm going to get something behind me. Alright. Oops. Alright, we won't panic, we won't panic, we won't panic. So So we glorified, stuffed that up, and if there was more, we would have been dead. Okay, we'll just hear me jumping away. Okay, we just... And there's a few bugs here. I've had casters hidden under this here. And, so we're going to kill this bloke off, because I reckon he's going to cause us problems. Wow. Okay. That's pissed me off. Don't you just love that? Wow, that still hit me from the... Oh, this hair of my chinny chin chin. And I was taking damage from this toxic saliva. Wow, see? Put myself on live stream and I ended up playing like a knobhead. So that's how you not do it. But because you've got so much life and mana, and plus I've got 3 sets of mana gems, which I'm going to renew in a second. Alright, so now I know I'm safe. Yeah, and the gold I've got, I haven't, you know, got, well, I've had a bit of luck with certain things, but I haven't like scored some random epic. I got a golden pearl back in the early 40s. I didn't know they were worth 25 to 40 gold on the AH, so... Anyway, so this will be a maintenance mode in a second here, so we'll stop the damage. We go with a big mana citrine, mana jade, and then we've got another one that's fine. Good. You see me? So I had to discipline myself then because I still almost started to run around. As soon as I started keep backpedaling, I wasn't getting hit by that leeway mechanic. I just see someone. Oh, that was the red right. I have an max camera view, so it tries to always keep me zoomed out, which is fine until you get one of these bloody big trees behind you. Alright. So we know we've been actively clearing down here, so let's just see. What's this? Warcraft. Oh. Well, there you go. Oh, be careful of that. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Oh, watch out for that bear in a second. Just gonna have a wee look at this. Yeah, it's just too stacked for my liking. Too many frost mages around, man. We gotta clear these mages out. careful. A lot of melee start to spawn around here. So I got those 2 melee and I lock 2 mages and I lock a lot of melee. Oh, there was my first... I felt it was coming. My first epic. 10 stamina. 15 spirit. I wish it was 15 stamina. Restores human mana when eaten. 1 hour cooldown. Okay. Nice. So 2 hours and I haven't got one of my epics to drop. Okay. Well, no one's buying my stuff. Bud, I'm gonna have to kill you on your own. That's right. Oh shit. Right, let's just get eat food, drink quickly, and then we're gonna round up all these boys. I'll kill them off, and then I'll go to the auction house, see how much that neck is, wherever it's gone. It's on me somewhere, hopefully. I think you would look epic in my bag, wouldn't you? Before more mages appear. Alright. Let's go. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. It usually meant me count down a run. did that? I received it. Ah, right there. Interesting to see what its sell price is. There's no way I'm getting through that. Alright, let's round up a few more milli. Come get me. Get me. Get me. Get me. Oh shit. Thought I was pushing out fine run. I don't think I can. So it's conjures a lily root that restores health and mana when eaten. Yeah. Doesn't really. Stat wise, for an epic, 10 stamina, I've got 13, 15 spirit, and I've got 5. I'm gonna have to check it online, see how. What the hell? Actually, you know what? You know what I should do? Actually, I'll round these guys up. Come on, boys, come on, come on. Oh, see that? The leeway triggered when I accidentally ran to the left. Oh dear. Without that potion, I was a dead man. Those potions sell for about $1 on the auction house, these ones. See, now I've got greedy since I got that purple. Let's get 100k out, which means I got 54. I'll kill this mage off. Alright, I'm out of here. Hit me. Ah, that frost mage got triggered. Alright. Alright, that's my 100k. I'm just gonna try something here.
I'm listening.
Actually, I'll be right back. Mother Nature calls.
Man, it's game over, man. It's game over.
Wants to live forever!
Stop the run.
They picked a fight with a war. With victory. I'm on a quest. Right every single wrong. Right every wrong. I'm a total freaking rust out from Mars. Baby, come on,
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire.
Conception about what I am, what I do. I am a paladin. That is true. But as a paladin, I don't fear falling. I look forward to it. Prepare for battle!
Man, it's game over, man. It's game over.
Wants to live forever!
Stop the run.
They picked a fight with a war. With victory. I'm on a quest. Right every single wrong. Right every wrong. I'm a total freaking rust out from Mars. Lady, come on, back of blood.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Do you want to live forever?
Watch your tone with me, boy. You may be the prince, but I'm still your superior as a paladin.
This city will be cleansed. Forget. Listen, Uther. There's something about the plague you should know. Oh no. We're too late. These people have all been infected. They may look fine now, but it's just a matter of time before they turn into the undead.
What?
This entire city must be purged.
How can you even consider that? There's got to be some other way.
Damn it, Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city!
You are not my king yet, boy. Nor would I obey that command even if you were.
Then I must consider this an act of treason.
Treason? Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Have I? Lord Uther, by my right of succession and the sovereignty of my crown, I hereby relieve you of your command and suspend your paladins from service.
Arthas, you can't just...
It's done! Those of you who have the will to save this land, follow me. The rest of you, get out of my sight.
You've just crossed a terrible threshold, Arthas.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this.
Back into it, just cashed in our goodies. I need to make some space in my bag somehow. I've got too much shite. Too much shite. Too much
Dark Lady, watch
stuff.
over you.
I am forsaken.
I am forsaken. Yes, yes. Don't need you on me at the moment. Yes. Yes, I do. No.
Beware. Our enemies abound.
So we get 25, 20, 43.
What now?
But we're just getting a little bit of extra spell damage. No, okay. Have you over here? Yeah, okay, over here. Okay. You're a quest item. You two go close together. You're another quest item, you go up there. Same with you, bud. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of. Okay, I don't really need to have you on me. Copper. Put you in the back. Yeah, get rid of you as well. There, okay.
Watch your back.
Yes, yes. I'll watch my back, motherfucker.
Be quick about your business.
Okay. You know what?
Embrace the shadow.
I'm just gonna try something out here. Systems, advanced. I got it set to 100. Let's put it to 60 because that's what I'm streaming at. A max background will make it 60 as well. Just when I alt tab. 57. See if that causes any problems.
And you are.
Okay.
Do not seek death.
Oh. Healing potions. Oh. Well, obviously he's a healer. Okay. Someone makes the potions. Alright. Where's my options? Oh, they've all reset. So let's put them up for 8 hours. my gifts of Arthas. Seems I'm the only one with them. Seeing how I've had 5 of them and I've sold 3, so I've made I've made a decent amount of money out of that Fellstone field. Oh yeah, we've got this one to sell as well. So wow, it's not even selling for a silver. Oh, hold on to it. Okay. Oh. What we got? 22. We've got 22. 22 gold. Alright, let me just Google it to see what it's. Try to work out what screen on that. Why type when you copy and paste? That's all I can say. Just jumping on to well, they're saying it's pretty good. Okay. Is it saying you get a lily that lasts an hour that it just restores? That sounds too good to be true, because this is Warcraft. Alright. I'm just gonna go to YouTube because they're saying it's good for mages. Oh, they're saying it's OP. Punk Rat's saying it's OP. Hang on.
As WoW has progressed, common moments already, so here mages can just charge in and pop this pot, you know, blast entire raid groups.
Alright, he's just got a random. $22 gold. Ah, semi good for mages. It shares a cooldown with mana gems. Hang on, am I reading it wrong? What's it do? Still health mana when eaten. So it's sharing a cooldown with my mana and health stones. Alright, well that's another option. Look, I'll put it up for sale. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's a bit under. It looks like it's been selling for 25 gold. I'll just scan the auction house over here just to make sure. Okay. %. Okay, so I'm gonna have an extra. Do extra. So for 5 gold. No. What I'll do, I'll bid on it. I'll take it for 1.69. But I definitely will not pay 5 gold for it. And if I get it, I get it. Everything else is under what I have. smarter. Just see, no, there's nothing on the eagle there. Just get trinkets. I see, I've got this on my warlock. And I got two of these on my warlock. I got one for 5 gold and the other one for 25 and a bit. So I got 2 for 30, or yeah, combined 2 for 30. And these guys have been trying to sell them for upwards of 100 gold, or 85 now. They dropped the prices down. And there was the mage rings. Increased frost damage, but they wanted 1500 gold from, and I was like, you're joking. Alrighty, we'll offload another 3 of those. Yeah, so here in Australia we've had some shocking news. So I guess if you're predominantly American, which most majority you are, we had one of our biggest car manufacturers, wow, they don't make cars now, called Holden, basically gonna end at the end of this year, end of 2020, and it, you know, it just seems bizarre, but basically Holden was, it's you've got to grow up with the Australian car culture, but Australia had 2 dominant car manufacturers who were owned by the American companies, which is Ford, which is owned by Ford America, and Holden, which is owned by General Motors in America, and it's kind of like General Motors shutting down. So what happened is that you have General Motors, Holden. They bought them in the 1930s. But basically they went on to build the first Australian car here in 1948, and so for a long time they were the #1 selling car. Now mind you, there was tariffs against imported cars, so there was, I think the tariffs ranged between 15 to 30% on your normal standard car, and if they were bringing in luxury models, it was on price and everything like that. So things like BMWs and, you know, all your European base models that they got like a luxury tax on them, like an extra 30% on top of them again. And so those cars that were priced, I'm going back a few years in cost, but just say for about 50,000 Australian for a standard, you know, car, family car, mid-tier, mid to high tier, here in Australia. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's not good. Give me a second here. I'll drop that back to 30. I'll take that. So I restricted you to 60 because I'm streaming at 60 and my 4K TV's at 60, and you start giving me strange tears, but I'll get you to unlimited now, 160. And there's no tears. Interesting. So, yeah. So basically, there were basically Australian versions of American cars. And the big thing that most of us don't realise is that in Australia, because we're only a small population, we're 25 to maximum 26 million people at the moment. And basically 85% of the population lives in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, which is the southeastern coast of Australia. So between Brisbane's sort of central east, and then 1,000 kilometres down is Sydney, another 1,000 is Melbourne, and you've got the capital and 85% of the population, and most of the forests and most of everything is on the coast there. So when I was born, you had a lot of great cars left over. So my first car was older than me when I was 18, 19. It was a car, it was older than me by a year or so, and these are great cars from the 70s and so forth, and your first car should never be. It should be a bomb, well, not a bomb, but it should be something that you learn to drive and you're not afraid to ding. And those cars were all made of metal and steel, and they were beasts. Anyway, long story short is that the Australian car manufacturers made a lot of cars here in Australia, and they weren't always the best of the best, but we tried to build good cars. That was fine. What has happened from the 70s, 80s, I guess, and onwards, is that Australian Ford and Holden, which is General Motors Holden, made really good cars in general world standards, and but the problem was America Ford and General Motors America recognized these are great cars, but did not want to bring these cars into their own market because they would, one, destroy their own market, and they'd cannibalize their own market. Plus there was union issues about, because the wages and everything in Australia and the value there, even though we get higher wages, you balance in the difference in the dollar, it sort of evens out, sort of thing. So I guess a lot of the issue in America, and I would be too, that it would make sense, and that's what happened with NAFTA and everything like that. You've got, if I'm running a business and the only reason you want Mexico in it is that you can build a factory over in Mexico, you pay the workers, even though it's really good money, 3 or 4 times the national average wage, and in Mexico it's still $15 an hour in US dollars, which is not much money, and you're building a good product, and the biggest cost of majority of all businesses is wages. So I can see importing cars from Australia into the American market under the brand of Ford and General Motors causing so many issues, and it did, but they still did that in the end. They still imported some of the cars because of the demand, but they never marketed, they never promoted them because politics, all that other stuff going on. And what happened in the 70s into the 80s is that companies like Toyota in the late 70s and stuff was like where Hyundai and Kia was in the late 90s. Because I remember being a young kid and my grandfather saying, because he owned a lot of cars, he used to buy the big the big Ford F100s, 150s, and he had everything, Harleys, bloody Volvos, you name it. He had every car you can imagine, the best of the best, beautiful looking things. Only problem with my grandfather is he'd buy all these great things but never have any money to do anything with them. But they'd be the best and most beautiful car you'd ever seen, and then 3 to 6 months later he'd be like, oh, where's that great car? And he had to sell it because he needed cash, but he'd turn around, get the money back up again, go out and buy a nice new car again, max of his thing, and he'd have it for a period of a year or so, and then boom, shit would happen. But what happened though is Australia is a small population. We built some really great cars in the 70s and 80s, mid 80s, like the Ford Australian. I thought that was really bad cars, and I think it was in the late 90s that Ford Holden made a really great car, the Holden VT Commodore, and then the VT2 Commodore, which these were revolutionary, where they took, at the high end of town, they took a German body, so they got the body designed in Germany by Opel, and then they adapted for the Australian market, so they made it a bit wider, a bit bigger, and then they took the LS1 Corvette motor V8 and 5.7 litre and put that in the what they call an SS, which is the sports sedan version, and also they have the special branch called the Holden HSV, which is Holden Special Vehicles. So it's like it's like AMG for Mercedes and stuff like that. So it's high performance yet again. You can look it up, HSV, Club Sports and things like that, and Utes and shit. But the simple thing is, we built some really great cars, but we were selling into a small market that was going from a population of probably 15 million to a max of 25, 26 million now over the last 15, 20 years. And one of the major competitors coming into the Australian market, and a few fell away, like Nissan and all that stuff, but someone like Toyota was building crappy little cars, but they were selling because they were cheap, they were reliable, and that was the thing I remember growing up, is seeing the change of technology in TVs and video players and everything, because American stuff was just big butt and ugly things. The Japanese were building things, they over-engineered the TVs, they over-engineered their wash machines, the cars, everything like that, because they were trying to break into the market, and they had, and they were developing the industry. But the thing is, they were selling to the world market. So when Toyota was selling certain brands like the Corolla and models that you were familiar with all across the world, in West Europe and Australia, New Zealand and North America, these are models that they are building internationally, and they have factories in those countries because it's politics as well, employing, because then Toyota becomes like an American brand because they're building in that country, hiring Americans to build the car. They're still making money out of it, and they've beaten all the tariffs and shit like that. And same here in Australia. But the problem was the Ford branches here made these products for right-hand drive, the Australian market. They were some incredible cars. You can look up, what's that car show, that British car show? Can't recall. Top Gear. And they called them Vauxhalls and stuff over in the UK. But you got to understand, the UK, I think owning a V8 in the UK, you end up paying like thousands of dollars in registration, whereas here in Australia, for a high performance vehicle, you're paying $1,000, for 12 months or more. And whereas in the UK, most people drive around 2-cylinder vehicles, and the cost of fuel is like £2 a litre, whereas here in Australia, it's about $1.70 something Australian a litre. Which is dear at the moment. But so it was clear to me, so I'm a teenager, 90s and so forth. I can clearly see that these cars, I can clearly see that it's, you don't, it's not hard to understand if you're building for us, if you're building effectively for one country, and say your major competitor is building a inferior product, yours is better, but it's not, theirs is not as good, but it's cheaper, it's more reliable, it's less gimmicky. The Japanese have always had this flavor of making, they make good cars, but they lack the flair and all that sort of stuff, but they're reliable. And the classic point in here, I wish I bought a Toyota Land Cruiser. I talked myself in and out of it several times. If I had, it still would have held its value, because it's amazing those things hold their value, as long as you treat them right too. You don't take it out, scrap bash it, and sink under a creek or river and salt water through it all and sort of stuff. You still have to look after it. But what I'm getting at is, here in the Australian market, our manufacturing was competing against international players who, over the course from the 70s, 80s and 90s, and they had their own problems, but they were selling into a global market with and global brands and around the world. I'm telling you now, if Ford Australia and General Motors Holden Australia were basically Australian brands, and they were Holden Australia and Australia Ford, which had nothing to do with the American cousins, and they could sell into the American markets and basically operate and run like the Japanese car manufacturers, then they would still be alive today, or they would be competing on a world scale. And of course, they would be making a lot of left-hand drive vehicles and right-hand drive for Australia. The thing is, when you're owned by a owned by a parent company, they can clearly see you making they're not going to let you import into that country. It makes logic sense that the Australian cars for Ford and Holden shouldn't be importing to across the world, but they were restricted by their parents because the parents had their own strategies, their own costs and their own things, and it's all politics and all that sort of stuff going on. There's a lot of complexity into it, but it's a very simple thing to understand. It's very straightforward. I can clearly see, and I've always said, since I was a teenager, 15 years of age, that we should start manufacturing, building our own products. SUVs, four-wheel drives, small vehicle, mid-range, and your performance vehicles. And nowadays, yes, I have to say electrical. And we should invite Elon Musk over, give him 49% of the company, and the government has 51, and then let him run riot. But long story short, what I saw happen with the Japanese cars is they kept sticking to their high quality builds, reliability, and over time the cars got better. If you look at what a Corolla was like in the 70s, and I remember my grandfather bagging the crap out of the Japanese cars, Datsuns and everything like that, but from the mid to late 70s, by the late 80s and then into the 90s, the Japanese were outselling everything. They had built, the back of being a reliable vehicle. Plenty of mechanics will tell you they're extremely reliable, general use cars. You can buy Mercedes and BMWs and everything like that, but then you have to keep maintain them. They're a joke. They're a rip-off expensive. Go to look all over YouTube for it. Anyway, but Toyota consistently has created a brand that's reliable. It lacks the sexiness, but it's reliable, which mums and dads and families need and want, and they hold some of their value. And they sell on a global market. And Holden got shut down yesterday and will be closing its doors at the end of this year. And they were building for a very small market, and they weren't allowed to play on the open field, even though we had brilliant people, highly skilled, and it's all gone down the gurgler. We stopped manufacturing vehicles in 2017. Some of the union guys are getting paid stupid amounts of money, like $100,000 or more a year just to make cars. Actually, I heard it was even higher. They're on big mining money, and it was making the cars very expensive, but it was heavily subsidised. So for me, we need to honestly look at Korea, and that's what I'm getting to. Hyundai was the same thing. I was saying back in 2007, 2008, I was looking to buy my first Hyundai or Kias, and I had family who work in the industry going, "No, you're mad, you're crazy, you want a Kia." I said, "No, I totally agree with you." I said, I got on the carsales.com, I looked at all the past models, they look shit. I've never seen one that ever turned my head, but that they hired the Audi designers, brought all this new team in, and from late 2007, 8, 9, they started to rebuild, and they started to build for the international market. And now you've got some really great cars. Here we are, 2020, like 12 years later, and they've got and they're actually dominating the Australian car sales now. I think they're number 3, number 2, and they've Kia and Hyundai combined, because they're basically the same company. And they're SUVs. Oh, geez, I forget the model, but there's so many SUVs nowadays. But they've got some really great products now, and they've got really good looking cars. Reliability's there. They've had a 7-year warranty as well at times for different models, and now they're smashing sales, and they ain't going to stop. And now they're selling on the global market. Now I know Hyundai and Kia in Korea, there's big strong unions. The people are paid very well because they fought very hard, but that's something Australia has to do. The government has to generate massive tax incentives. We need to have a big heavy manufacturing base here. There's no point us digging up dirt and all this iron ore and everything and shipping it overseas. We need to start making things, and we need to incentivize it. A flat tax system. We need because that'll keep the money in Australia, and that'll create jobs and create businesses, and in turn feed itself, and then in turn will create supplies feeding into here. Otherwise, it's all going to be just due to look at the demographics. Southeast Asia's over 4.5 billion people, and most of those people, China, India, 1.5 billion in each of those countries, near enough, are poor as, and then the rest of the countries around there, that's such low wages that over the next 30 years, they're all going to convert from where they are now to first world countries, which means there's going to be a huge increase in all this stuff. So I don't know how much more products we've got on the ground in this country, but all will be known as dirt diggers, and we need to start pulling our finger out. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But anyway, Holden's died, and all of Australia's crying at the moment. And I've owned Holdens. I've owned one Holden and a lot of Fords. And I have Mercedes and a BMW too. Not now, sold them long ago, but trust me.
Blood and thunder.
Those cars, Mercedes and and BMW, they are good cars, but the cost to maintain them, especially was parts of it. Like I went to buy my other half she works in real estate, and went to buy her a red 2-door convertible Mercedes, and it was like $22,000 or something. And I looked how many Ks it done. It was only about 60,000 Ks. You know, and normally I would never buy a car with that. To me, that's still a lot of Ks. And I went online looking at what the car, you know, sold for. It was like 70,000-80,000. And I was like, why is this thing going? And so I was like, has this been damaged? Has it been flooded? Has it been this? Has it been that? No. And I was like, okay. I said, why is it so cheap? And the bloke at the car yard, he saw I was real. He saw the quality of my partner at the time, because she was saw it. And I said, mate, there's no point me buying this and this shits itself, because she's going to kill me, and then my life's a living hell. So what ended up happening, he admitted, and he said, listen, I've had 3 really great mechanics go over it, 1 independent, 2 really close friends, and they're saying that this car needs $22,000. Well, apparently, if you're buying everything from Mercedes, $22,000 in maintenance costs. You know, the cost of a good chunk of it was the labour, because that's what they charge, and the other was all the parts, official parts. And I looked at him and said, hang on, so you're selling this for... I said, it's a beautiful car in really great shape. He says, yeah, but the previous owner drove it. They didn't drive it into the ground, but they just basically never took it in for a proper service. They did everything, you know, they did the basics themselves, but over a period of time, there's things that... And the car was only, oh man, it might have been 6 years old. And I said, so how does the car... And he said, well, it's just, some of these things are just worn out, and they just need to, you know, it's safer, instead of them breaking down, that basically they'll get replaced. And this is what Mercedes charge to replace the cars, the parts. And I was just like, you're effing joking. So, okay. And for a long time, you know, I've hired quite a few Mercedes and SUVs and BMWs and things like that, and all the gadgets and toys, but all the... Okay. Level 54, so he's resisted most of my spells. Was he targeting me? Oh no. Yes, it was a stunning amount of money. He basically said the car runs well and fine, but he says these are the things that you would take the car in for a service, and over the, you know, routine service checks that routine service checks the company mandates, they would replace those things. So he said, look, honestly, if you bought this car and then took it into a Mercedes dealer, they're going to suggest or pressure you into basically having the work done. And I was like, okay. Still froze me. And there was a couple other Mercedes that I looked at. I remember there was a BMW M6, which is a coupe. It was maroon, which is Queensland's colours, and it was like 60 to 75. It might have been 65 to 80, 85. Might have been 70 grand or something. And I was shocked because it was a great looking car. And I was just stunned that it was available at that price, because I looked it up, it was a V8 and everything, and brand new was 130 grand or something. And again, it was the same issue. It was only a few years old, but it had so many issues that it didn't realise I got ice warding. I went and got my ice warding ability out, which gives me 400 damage resistance versus ice frost damage. So I was just making those bastards stop freezing me. Yeah, and I didn't inquire about a car. It just, it's a case of it wasn't at a main dealer. It was at like a second-hand car yard, and I was just like, danger, Will Robinson, do not buy, do not go to that car. You're just gonna buy some trouble. That's all you get. How the hell did I trigger him all the way back there? Okay, well, we've got to run because I'm... Oh. Laugh if was there a unique into there. Yeah, if it's too good to be true, there's no way someone's gonna... Of course, my partner, she was going stupid. And in the end, all it did was cause me grief because my partner at the time was like, got so excited, and of course I told her not to say anything until we actually bought, not to tell anyone. Of course she went and ran around and told her whole family and closest friends that we were buying, I was buying her this little Mercedes and that Mercedes, this coupe and that, and of course I told her I was looking for a good deal, but she was pragmatic, and once she realised that how much it costed for the maintenance of the first one, but the second car, I kicked my ass. All this talk about buying a nice expensive car, all these cars, and there was nothing wrong with either of our current vehicles at the time, but and of course she went around telling everyone, and next thing you know, it all backfired on me, and you know, I revealed who she really was. But because I think her next response, well, let's just go and buy a new one. And I said, what's that? Let's go buy $160,000. You know, I was just like, nah, thanks. And he was like, well, we won't need it in maintenance. I said, that's part of what it is. And I said, this is the cost. And I said, look, for that price, property, real estate, you know, invest in that. There's no point buying a car because that'll just devalue so quickly. Meanwhile, she's a real estate agent, and I had to argue with her about buying property, so it worked that out. You know, women. But anyway, enough of me moaning about the real world. And that all came out of Holden dying yesterday. So yes, it's an iconic. So manufacturers. So yeah, it's. I just believe that the Australians should be making things. America still makes things. Germany obviously makes things. And let's get away from that. And so he knows not to cast ice on me because I've got that shield. Has he? Oh. So there's some sort of marching bug around here. Unbelievable. Oh, you bastard. Alright. fellas. Chase me, chase me, chase me. I must be getting close to, yeah, reasonably close to Argent Dawn. Punch down the middle. Run away! Run! Run! See, that's what happens when you try to take on, you just try to get too many. Ran up way too many. Piss off, bear. Okay. Somehow I turn all the sound effects off. Alright, let's see if we can do this without triggering the mages. Oi! If I don't have a heal, I'm dead. Run away! Wow. Oh, what? They still follow me. Oh, Blizzard, come on. Sometimes I tell you. Ah, good lord, what's wrong? Jesus, how not to do it. So Iceberry saved me, absorbed the damage. Which is ticking over, which is this. Plus they smack me around like a biatch. So basically I'm trying to run in, and I'm obviously just standing there too long. I want them all to get frozen so that they're all stuck in a group. And it's all the mages around, cause me dramas. Wow, they took out my shield pretty quick. I'm thinking about my, I'm thinking I'll get higher level and I'll be able to take out those mobs, but I'm realizing there's nothing really that's gonna make me. So I'm gonna get a high level blizzard. Okay, food, frostward, ice. Okay, so there's a few spells there that make me a lot stronger, but the problem is I've got to unlock that quest. You get it at 50, but level 50 fighting level 55, 54 mobs. And especially when you hit one and you trigger 5 on you or 4 on you. And they're all spellcasters. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna push in. We're gonna say hello. Gonna come out. We're gonna say hello to you. Hello to you. Go back to the middle. Okay, let's line up. waited. Oh, here we go. Nice lag. Interesting. I command the. What's in my graphics settings? I could do touch. Shadow calling. I just want to see if it goes up to ultra. Nothing but shadow. Well, you didn't even wait any time, did you, mate? Oh, Journeyman's backpack. Oh, 14 slaughter. Seeing if he's going over to upset these guys. I just don't get the feeling he is. I've seen a few dead bodies around here, so obviously people have been trying to get through. know what? We're gonna actually ask for. I'm not gonna ask anyone in the guild. I'm gonna. Or is it? Oh, actually, it's a level 53 quest. Sorry, I thought it was a 50 quest. I think this is the guy trying to. Oh, you cheek. It's amazing. I double click my water potions thinking it's going to make me drink water. I tell you, man, I've tried to in real life drink as much as these guys, and yeah, it's not worked. But it's man, I had to gather. I had busting to gather Dunny. Okay, get in range. Just in range there. Bitch. Alright. Yeah, not when they both can heal themselves. Ay, ay, ay. What a lot of crap. Are you seriously? Seriously? Are you gonna how far are you gonna chase me, man? Oh, for fuck's sake. Wow. Now that other one's gonna come at me real quick. Here we go. No, no, don't keep healer. Oh, you dirty bastard. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, someone outbid me. Okay. Oh, shit. Slayers can do. He was 58, so he was struggling big time. Because I rode past here at level 50, and he asked me to ride through it a couple of times. And I gotta be honest, my great strength is I'm very independent, built things, done things in my life, all that sort of stuff. I do have trouble asking for help, and it's clear in this game that a lot of times I'm like that. I probably should be a tank. Ill heals, but it's just, I don't know, it's just the way I feel, mate. It's just alright, so that should open up a quest chain for us now, which means I have to come back and actually kill this area. It's interesting to watch a lot of the streamers like Tips Out, all these, I guess these guys, they do this 24/7 and they do it for a living. So they basically burnt out on the game.
Loktar.
Because I think they got everything handed to them. and they all have this memory of well, being hard. And it is when you try to do it all on your own, but when you're in organised groups, because that's what I learned very quickly when I first started playing, because as I said, very independent, ended up picking a class that was, you didn't need anyone. It was the, this is like May of 2008, this is very close to August before the Lich King, Wrath of the Lich King launches, and I was in Outlands, you know, leveling up to 60 to 70, and playing the game, completely self-sufficient, drain tanking, you know, it was after the, I don't know what patch it was, I'd have to look it up. And the Warlock, Affliction Warlock drain tank was even way stronger than what it is in Classic. Classic, honestly, I have to do a video of Warlock versus Mage, and I tell you what, it's going to be heavily on the Warlock side, Mage side of things. Biggest issue with the Warlock is everyone wants your soul stones and everything like that, and you got to do it individually, man. It's just a pain in the ass.
What would you ask?
It's not something you want to do.
Farewell. Speak quickly. Remember, patience, discipline. Loktar. Strength.
Okay. Who am I speaking to? Oh, over here.
What now? Beware, our enemies abound.
Okay. Righty. I've got pretty much everything is fine. Just the playlands. I can only imagine what this is like on the PvP servers, man. My nephews, when they were playing all this game, they played with all their mates, so they'd finish school, they'd be, hey, you know, texting and everything like that, and when they got home, they'd be on here for hours, and they'd be all fighting together. And they played from my house once, and I gotta say, you know what, I'm gonna just get rid of Shadow. Let's just get rid of it. Sun shelf. Environmental detail. What if I put it down? Put that all down. Just want to see what the FPS does. Well, I had the FPS set to 100, and it's just pretty much stayed on 100 easy. But now I'm just asking it to be whatever it wants to be, and it's struggling. It's interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so now we gotta kill the... Who is this? Paladin. Oh dear, he's just... That's a priest? I gotta ask... Push in, get these two to come play with me, and we'll get this third guy, because I think he wants to play too. Okay. Thank you. Going on? Alright, if you're tuning in, just unlock the Scourge quests. the what does he call it? Fellstone Field quests. I've been just grinding around here. Nearly 52. Alrighty. Got a bit to kill. Who's this fella? Oh. It's the Cauldron Lord. Well, mate. Can you just leave me alone for a sec? Okay, let me just get that up. Now we can talk, my friend. Now, I'm not sure if you know what a Frost Mage does, but we cast one spell repeatedly. You're not kicking my ass. Jeez. And thank you. Thank you. And he's diseased me. Amount of times I've been sitting here for the last day and a bit where I've had this whole cauldron completely isolated, cut off, wiped out, and now that I need to get the quest, finish the quest. Funny, it's funny, isn't it? Okay, let's. For you to play with, and then I'm going to hit you with this. Okay. Beauty. I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked that I got up there and didn't trigger half the map. Yeah, so look, if you are leveling, if you are playing WoW Classic and you're looking to get into it, always pick a class you think you're going to enjoy. I think, honestly, you want to be a warrior. It's going to suck to level, unless you're in a really good guild or something. But my suggestion is, you start a mage, you don't need anything, you just need get yourself hands on Gear of the Eagle, which is intelligence and stamina, which is mana and life. And what you're doing is building an AoE class farmer, or mob farmer, and I leveled my boy up to 30 and I made easy 100 gold, and I used that to then level up my next character. And if I hadn't taken a break for a month and a bit due to life and all the other stuff, I've got my warrior to level 19, but I haven't bothered to keep going. But it helps when you
I am forsaken.
got a bit of gold in the bank. So okay, she's giving me that.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Okay. But it does make life easier, and if you know what you're doing, because mage is probably the easiest and fastest to level.
What do you need? May your blades never dull.
Like I said, a week and a bit ago, I had 4 gold in this guy. Now I'm up to, well, I've got nearly 270 in my V's got 270 in my bags, and I've made probably over 300 gold, 350 or higher, because I have spent a bit on gear as well, leveling him. So get in there. This quest is repeatable, but do you get any XP from it? I just... Actually, we're going to round up quite a few here. See if we can trigger. Come boys, come on boys. We want to stay well away from their gaze. Oh, I've missed. Oh no. Oh, I thought I had something good then. So I've already got one epic out of this farming. It's on the edge for 20, 23 gold, 25 gold, 22 gold, something like that. See how it goes. I think he realised hitting me with the stick is going to get my shield down faster. Alright, let's just see if this goes again. So I moved one step too close. Unbelievable. Shit. Oh, you fucking pissing me off, man. Alright, how far are you going to chase me? Right. Love it. Last time I walked straight up. Couldn't do wrong. Yes, and I think a lot of the stream, especially because they went on to PvP servers because they thought they're the shit, got absolutely annihilated. Like Swifty, you know, and it's really ruined their experience, which is, you know, kind of makes me have a bit of a chuckle. Without trying to be nasty. Ah, so you weren't anywhere. Come with me, you sons of bitches. Okay. Oh, you an asshole. Absolute asshole. Comes out of the ground. What the fuck? Piss off. Piss off. if I was actually prepared, I could have probably got through that, but I wasn't. Didn't have any of my mana gems. Okay. 30's enough.
Do you want to live forever?
Okay, back. Sorry, I just had to take a couple phone calls. Call Tex. It's not like they can do anything without me. Okay. Boom. Hey, sexy people. Whoa. Actually, we're going to have a look at this one over here. Man, I tell you what, this would be amazing if I came through at the start and this was all empty. It was... Come on, there's been mages left, right and centre here. Just clean this place up. Come on, mages. Where are you, fellas? Fellas? Aha. What level's he? 55. And... might be a bit difficult, I think. Shit. Holy baloney, he's a big boy. I'll take this fella out. He's gonna trick. Oh shit. Okay, let's forget about that. He's just like like a Lich King. Holy shit! How many zombies that he's Oh, they're low. They were 45. Oh Christ. Careful, wolf. looks like there's someone cleaning them up. Level 60 pally, okay. Obviously he's farming something. I'm probably gonna have to hit level 52 to take him out, but he's farming something here, I think. But I love AoE farming with a paladin. They're fucking a lot of fun. Oh jeez, he's doing a lot. Has he died at all? What the hell? Okay, there was something wrong there. Oh, there's a mage here as well. Shit. Alright. Is that the Cauldron Lord? Okay. Ah, all good. Trying to use the oh, okay, they're an alt. Okay, no dramas. Ah, he'll spawn. He'll spawn again, I guess. Oh, I thought there was another purple there for a sec. How long does he take to pop up? Run away, run up. Run away.
Yes.
So look at this alliance. Come on, Cauldron Lord, where the hell are you? Not often you get a level 60 paladin now when I'm dead. These dudes are all pretty tough. I'm just... Where the effing bejesus? Well, the level 60 is just gonna make... Well, that's just...
in your debt. Appreciated.
And what I'll do is I'll jump on the alliance side and thank them. And I just got friendly with the Argentine. There you go.
Yes. Our time will come.
Brawl Hall.
I keep thinking I'm actually a high level. I'm only 51.
Strength. Strength and honor.
Hello.
Oh, I'm friendly now.
Hello, Mark.
Ah, the mana biscuits restore 2100 and holy lordy. Oh, that is good. Look on that second side. Oh shit. Okay. See, and that'll
later.
Yeah, later. That's all just opened the door for me. Just getting through that opened the door for 3 quick quests. Well, we're so close to the next level. Oh god, I gotta kill this guy. Alright. We'll do all along the watch towers. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, it's a higher level quest, why are you even considering it? Well, when I was on my Warlock, because you get real confident one-on-ones with Warlocks, especially, you know, you can have a lot of stuff to help take out the elites, because the difference with the mage is you're taking damage and you're dying, your life is draining, whereas Warlocks, it's a battle of attrition, and the thing is you can suck back life and mana, but the only problem is the way it is in Classic and at this patch, it's still not 100% efficient one-on-one sort of thing. It depends on the strength and ratio, because if you're still way too low a level, you're gonna, you know, and then Because I think if they're 4 levels or higher, they can hit you for double damage or something, from memory. Whoa. Okay, we'll get on this road. Do a bit of fighting, I think. I've got an acolyte, okay. Not sure if he's shooting fire. Oh, shadow bolts. Oh, he can heal. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. I didn't realise that. Oh, I didn't. Stop resisting my spells. He's 5 levels above me. I might be able to do it. Actually, probably didn't even need to fight that guy. Yay! Someone's bought me. Finally, so that's even more gold coming in. Wow. Be 300 gold before I know it. Okay. Put that on. Sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forward, so I'm gonna go back. Because I'm 5 levels lower here. I just gotta be careful. That's what I'm talking about, shit. Don't help me enough, you bastard. You don't have to kill these guys. Gonna kill him. Oh dear. Ha ha ha! Someone please clip that. I'm gonna have to go through this and clip it. RC? Oh. And an alt. I think he was playing with 2 accounts, Alt Tavern. Oh dear. Isn't that... Aren't I in the right spot? Help gather termites from a mound in... Well, it looks like they died and they haven't come back. Alright. I've just been too embarrassed. Where's the termite mounds? A plague upon thee. Why can't I see it? Is it out? A plague upon thee. Oh, no, that's in another location. Arsey and Arsey. Yeah, you weren't arsey enough, my friend. That can be used as Australian slang. So if someone says, "Oh, look, he's arsey," or you ask that, it's like you roll 1 in a million. You know, you pulled off it's like a smart ass as well. Okay, we just gotta be careful because we're lower level. You know, I'm up against, I'm in a zone, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, no dramas. If I was already level 52, it wouldn't be so bad, but shit. Exactly what I was worried about. No. Oh, he's a few more levels. Alright. If I just use my fire and frost, it's because I got such I got 16% extra. Oh, that my warlock would not have been able to do that at the same level. He wouldn't be able to. Wow, the dots. I would have used so much mana because the dots would have kept missed. Well, the dots would have stuck, but a lot of them would have missed. You know, I would have cast my 3 dots, and then my shadow bolts. See, if those guys had survived, then I would have told them that they don't need to kill the thing to do it, because that's what I tried to do with my warlock. That's what I was talking about. I played the game from long ago and I thought, oh yeah, I'll come in and okay, I'm just gonna ride through. I'm gonna upset everything. Where is the bloody thing? Oh, it's on the other side. Oh shit. Oh, that's alright. Just gonna run away, reset everything. Not sure I'm out of combat yet. No, I'm not out of combat yet. I'm out of combat now. That road, so I can get in. I'm not sure if it's scalable. Get up there. Get up there. Get. Yeah. Is there a patrol here? Right away. So we reset. Okay. So if we just don't come near me. I think I'm too close. Yep, now I've got two on me. Gonna have to fight my way through. Okay. Now, as I said, you never want to be fighting mobs 3 or 4 levels higher than you. What makes it easy for the mage is I've got that, gives you 10, reduces target's resistance by 10, and then in frost you've got your frost and fire get another 6, so that's 16%. That's how I'm hitting, and that's why I'm so worried with the level. But the mage is a whole different thing. If I was using arcane, I'd be in trouble. Taking out my shield. It's okay. I've got him. Wrap around and so this will be an area I'll be farming a little bit from what I've read around this area here and here, possibly over here as well. Once, I think I need a couple levels, at least 52, 50, probably 53, 54. But the good thing, if these guys are around 54, 55, it means, from my experience, AoE grinding, still get decent experience even if they're like 3 levels below me. So if they're level 55s, 56s, that means, you know, I'm good up to high 50s, and then I can move into the eastern plague lands. One thing with the Warlock, I ended up going through so many quests, I ran out of quests in the end. But anyway, we just got to be careful where we go here. There's probably a few mobs we have to. I'm not going to go up anywhere where I'm going to get caught. Just give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay. Give me a second here. Now basically what I've done, I see everyone buys these computer desk chairs on wheels and stuff, and I had that stuff ages ago, before it all got trendy, and you know, they get all these like racing car seat versions. And what I ended up doing was getting one of my premium recliner seats, because I think we have three sets of lounge suites, you know, couch, 2 recliners, so we got three sets, because we've got a property here with 2 lounge rooms, so a third one was a bit redundant. So in my office space I've taken 2 of the recliners in, and a little bit of trial and error, I've got the base and put it on a broad dolly supporting, you know, depends on how much you weigh. So I've got a dolly that easily carries my weight, so you can have ones from 70-80 kilos up to 150, 250, 350. I think the heavier they can support, the more expensive they get, but like all things, based on the build quality as well. So I went to Bunnings, which is I don't know, like a big hardware store chain, and what I did was get a nice plastic reinforced with steel, which ridiculously amount of weight it can support, far exceeds my weight, even if both my partner and me both sat on this. And so the dolly trolley is effectively steel reinforced, plastic with plastic folds on the top of it, and what I've done is put the recliner on top of it, and it's got 4 wheels, and I can just roll around in the thing like I'm like a Dalek. And that's what I do now. I'm recline back in. So on those long grinds, I can just pull the recliner and lay back and pull the mouse up, and there's a few times I've fallen asleep. But now I've executed a policy now, because my other half's lounge suite, it's, I don't know how much he spent on this. It must have cost a pretty penny. It's very, very nice, and the times I go sit on her recliners in the second lounge room, or the family entertainment area we call it, sit on that thing, not even tired, but it's so comfy I pass out. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, let's get this final thing done. Drink some water. Find my way in here again. Well, someone's done it for me. Someone might have done it for me. Okay. That one's done. What have we got up here? Cauldron. I think there's a big boy walking around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. great thing about being a frost mage is I can run through with melee. Wow, look how much I upset everything. And how quickly they took my shield down. It's alright, mate. How much XP do we need? We did pretty, yeah, 9 grand, 10 grand. Yes, unless you're in a really good guild and you're really working together, you're going to probably find it's going to take you 4 or 5 hours a minimum to get levels in your 50s and to reach 60, which is it's a fair crack. Okay. So I've got to kill the Cauldron Lord here as well. Stinking up the place. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be achievable unless I get lucky again at level 60. Okay, we'll go back, turn this quest in, and we'll grind that last experience to get 52. Might as well turn these quests in. Where's this one? Oh. Okay, Fellwood. Turn that one off. Dark Heart. Seed of Life. Ungrove. Yep. Turn that one off. Actually, Plague. Are you still following me? Plague. It's not showing me on the map where to do that one. A Plague upon me. I think it's a fairly easy quest. Plague upon thee. Just give me a second here. What the hell? Oh, it's in the eastern. Okay, yeah, that's a hell of a ride from memory. There's a tunnel, but I think they're all level 55 mobs. Okay.
This had better be good. Embrace the shadow.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see what trouble I can get myself into. Okay, boys. Well, someone died over here trying to do bubbles. Someone was asking me how much life and how much mana. Look, as much mana and life as you can possibly get, because at the end of the day, you don't know how many mobs you can pull. And obviously if I had less life, I'd be a dead man. Okay. Need a backup plan like a mana health and mana potions, which all cost gold, and I've got plenty. I've made plenty of gold. I'm 270. Nothing stops me buying gold left, right, and center, but just tightwad, just a tightwad. Okay, he's gonna probably disappear. We'll get him to play. Where are you going, Flyer? Oh, getting leeway spanked big time there. See, I copped a hide, and so I'm gonna. Wow, you blasted my... Come on, big fella. Unbelievable. Hey, got a mana potion out of that. Oh, that's right. Just for that, you're joking, man. Well, it's a little bit rude. I'm gonna go kill a couple of bears. How long have I been streaming for? Does it say? Oh, 3.5 hours, chat. Okay. Bears piss me off. $3,000, Jesus Christ. Oh jeez, I needed that much high skinning. Come on, big boy. Come to ice, baby. Okay, how close? How? Jesus, what the? Am I lagging? think I'll save it. Is there a quest to turn it? No, okay. Alrighty, some new spells to learn. Geez, mages have got it easy. Poured in right near the training tower.
What is it?
271 gold. Well, we're gonna have to spend more. At this point, I don't need that extra food because I'm doing all right. Well, Blizzard, 936. Yeah. Train. Ice barrier. Okay, 678 versus from 5, 6, 7. I've got so only extra 100.
Embrace the shadow.
Yeah, okay. What was the other one I worked up? I suppose it's an increase. 200 damage over 8 seconds. So what's that? Half is 300 and something. Say 360, 70. So the 20-25%. Okay, something like that, give or take. So what am I down to? 267. It's alright. If I've got all my spells, I'll probably be back down to 250. Or less. But anyway, I'll just mosey on up to...
What is it?
Sold the gear. Okay, sold that. Could have got more rep. Sold that. Bananas? Funny enough, I bought bananas last night. Alright.
Goodbye.
What are we back up to? 2668. Before we buy, let's... So we got 4 sales. What we got? I got outbid on that. Well, that takes us back up to that. Sam Priest, 1.26. Lucinda. Great fishing spot. Okay, 275. Well, 4.
Hello. Goodbye.
Okay. Beauty. So, oh, so you bank, yeah, you bank your little So he would have bought us all out again. Large. What is it? Large radiant shard. Large radiant shard. Oh, and he's just jacked the pricing straight up again. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're doing, dude. Obviously, he's got a ton of cash because he's on everything. He seems to be the only one dominating the market. Auctions. Okay. Okay. Armor, cloth. Alright, what do we got? 57, not interested. Gloves, 13, 23 gold. Power, devoted. 54 gloves, mage, coat. No thanks, mate. Mage's belt. No, not really worth it. 10, 10, 7 for 10 gold. Two for 200 armor. See if 2 was that, if 2 is swapped with 4, yeah. Robe of Winter Night. Yeah. Someone must have bought those pants out, eh? Yeah, looks like someone bought those pants out. Because it was 15.15, yeah. Okay. Well, I was trying to get them on the cheap. Interesting. Yeah. Alright. Someone's bought out what I was trying to get for a 1.5 gold. They paid the nearly 6 gold for it, so good on them. Well, look, I'm going to do, probably just sit on the AH for a little bit, so I'm just going to end the stream now, just have a bit of a wee break. Look, thanks for tuning in, and smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.